This right here is a new anime being worked on by Studio Mappa, aka the same animation studio that has given us Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1, Season 2, the movie, Chainsaw Man, the upcoming Chainsaw Man movie, and yes, even the final season of Attack on Titan. Studio Mappa is quite a infamous company at this point, very famous. A lot of people recognize them because of just their last few very well-known projects over the years, and they finally have dived in to create another new anime for this anime season called Zenshu. You can see the title of it right here. I'll scroll down where you can see it. Currently, at this time, there is only 2 episodes out. Episode 3 should be coming out in a few days from now, but I've only, right now, at this current moment of me recording this video, I have only watched the first episode, and I have yet to see episode 2. And the reason for that is because I want to give an overall first impressions, and just talk about the first episode alone, instead of just episode 2 content as well on top of episode 1, to just kind of get out, like, what people's general vibe and feelings would be for the show. So anyways, let's get right into it. What is Zenshu? Is it worth your time? And how was this being advertised to begin with? Well, Zenshu. It was announced about, let's say a year ago at this point. It was announced that this would be an anime about animators. And a group of animators getting overworked, and the very start of the series definitely gives that impression. And a lot of people coming into this show from the early look of what Zenshu is about will probably be under the impression that, yeah, this is a show about animators just living a very rough work life. They have to work constantly all the time, being very underpaid, stressed out, with all the weight of the industry on their shoulders, stuff like that. And our main character here isn't someone that is a low-level, entry-level employee, someone that is not new to art and animation. They are straight up a director, someone that has went on to create very well-known projects and industry hits. That this is how the establishment of the first episode is, showcasing that this director, our main female character, is very well known in this verse, and they have created so many outstanding hits that the company they work for is legitimately looking forward to what they come up with next, and they basically encourage them to work to their absolute limit, which you can see by the subtitles here, just to be able to produce a better product, crunch time, all that type of stuff. So when this was announced, obviously there was a lot of controversy around it, because let's be honest, you probably have heard it from my channel and other channels, and on Reddit, maybe Twitter, etc. You know, where Studio Mappa, they have gotten themselves into quite a bit of drama over the years when it comes to overworking their animators. This is something that we have seen over and over again. I'm not going to get back into that story. But basically, with all that controversy and all that, and kind of the peak of it happening last year, obviously when Zenshu was announced, it was like, there's no way Mappa can't be, like, self-aware of making an anime original series about animators potentially overworking. Like, there's just no way. And regardless, that got a lot of conversation around it, because it's like, this might be another Shirobako. And if you don't know what that is, which is understandable, not everybody will probably remember it, because it's almost a decade old at this point, but Shirobako was an anime that came out a long time ago with an insight into the anime industry, kind of how, like, much directors are paid, how much animators are paid, how much they're overworked, the workflow, the schedule, all that. It was a nice little insight into the industry to give people that normally don't know about the inner workings a little bit more of an understanding. It was kind of like the anime version of, let's say, what is the series called? Oh my goodness, I'm blanking. It starts with a B. It's by the same creators of Death Note. How am I forgetting the name of it? Give me a second. Let me look this up. I don't know how my mind was drawing a blank on it, but it's Bakuman. Bakuman is what I was talking about. Bakuman was an insight into the manga industry, mainly Weekly Shonen Jump, and how authors are treated, how artists are treated, why there might be a duo combo of someone doing the art, someone doing the writing. You know, it was a really nice take on the manga industry. And so, basically, Shirobako, that came out a long time ago, was basically the equivalent of this to a different degree. There's differences, obviously, but it gives some insight into the anime industry. So, when Zenshu was announced, people were like, maybe this will be a modern-day version take of, let's say, Shirobako and maybe, Bakuman and stuff, it could be something like that. Well, that's what I believed at the very least. When I went into the show, and I think many included, went into the show expecting that. And, honestly, the beginning part of the show definitely showcases this. You see animators working to the brink of basically production collapse, not really knowing what to do, not really taking care of their hygiene or anything, for instance, not cutting their hair and all sorts of stuff, just to be able to get these products out. And then all of a sudden, you see the main female character, she eats some bad, food, she dies of food poisoning. In the first 5 minutes of the show, around the 6-minute mark, she dies, and she is transported into another world with her current, I'm assuming, abilities, etc. For instance, her current looks and appearance and all that, the same clothes. She was just straight up transported. Very similar to, let's say, Natsuki Subaru and ReZero. But anyways, she is in another world. And so this is when I was like, wait, huh? When I first watched this, wait a minute, so you're telling me this is an Isekai. This is not an anime about animators. Well, obviously, it still kind of is, but it's an anime about being in another world. And I'm just like, okay, I did not expect that. I mean, once again, I watched the early trailers, okay? I haven't watched the new stuff, so maybe the new stuff has revealed that this was going to be an Isekai, but at least myself going in, and I think many included, probably went into this assuming it was going to be about just animators animating stuff. So, definitely caught me by surprise. Anyways, so the overall story after she gets transported to this other world, she's in this world that's more or less not really popular. Like, the general impression of it, because we get a little bit of synopsis here, that our main female character, she starts watching this movie and stuff, or this anime, and it wasn't necessarily really well liked. There's a lot of people that didn't really enjoy it, etc. But it's very clear she enjoys it to a degree, and she's put into this world. Now, we're not given any context of how it ends or whatever, but obviously the events that unfold within this sequence, which she's transported, is following the story of the anime that she was watching. She hints that certain characters die, there's a tragic backstory, all sorts of stuff, and basically it follows the normal flow. However, towards the end of the episode, which is, with this animation sequence I showed at the beginning of this video, she is able to use an ability where she's able to, summon an animation board and desk to be able to rewrite the very story itself. It reminds me a lot of, let's say, Inkheart, actually. I don't know how many people remember that series. Inkheart, Inkspell, Ink Death. It was a trilogy book series. But, it reminds me a lot of that. Basically, someone being able to, write stories and bring them to life, so to speak. And that's what she's able to do. She's in this world, and she's able to literally write stuff down and animate it and create and bring things to life and change the story's overall flow. She even brings this creature to life, which I'm going to show it here. It looks really freaking cool, actually. It looks like sketch. It looks like literally a storyboard come to life. I mean, the art animation and the little, stuff here, the writing and stuff, it looks so good. It's very clear the intention of this, when this was being animated, was to make it look like it was a unfinished animated, creature within this world, and it really works very well. I gotta say, they did a very good job with this. I like the overall design and the way it is presented within the normal art animation format, and it really brings some uniqueness to the ability of this character, that she's able to, like I said, rewrite history, save people from dying, and all that. And so the question is, what is the overall objective of the story, since her ability obviously seems so powerful? So I guess we need to talk about this. So with her ability to, change reality itself with her animation, bring it to life in this world, we have to wonder to ourselves, which, by the way, straight up, Death Note. You're not telling me this is not a Light Yagami Light, reference. When he does the writing with the pen and he writes people's names off, that's exactly what this looks like. And also, by the way, there is a lot of references in the animation for this episode, and there's probably so many I missed myself, but there is clearly a lot of references and a lot of inspiration poured into this, which I like, because obviously, when you have an animator that's apparently, a seasoned veteran within her world, it's very clear that she would know some very insane art animation techniques. So seeing stuff like this, it's just it's a nice little nod. It's definitely a nod for those that have been around for a long time, for decades, watching anime, but also a nod for animators that really just like the craft of art and animation. There's definitely some cool stuff here. But anyways, the objective of the story so far, it's still very vague with the first episode. You could assume that the main objective of the story is for our main female character to save this world, make it a lot better, save people from dying and stuff. But it's never really given if she could not go back or not. I mean, with the ability to literally rewrite the world itself, I mean, what's stopping her from creating, let's say, drawing down and animating a portal to be able to get back to reality? there's definitely a possibility there. Now, there is also a part of me that believes the character's in a coma. Now, hear me out on this one. The reason why I think that is because the character apparently died to food poisoning, just ate like some bad clams or something, which she might have choked and died, it's possible. But I think that she might have passed out, and everything we see going on here is a dream sequence. Now, that is a possibility, but could be wrong there. But regardless of the situation, I do think that Studio Mappa is cooking with this show. I don't think that this is a 10 out of 10 first episode. I don't think that this is terrible either. I say it's good. It's enjoyable, got my interest, very different from what you would expect from Studio Mappa's works. Now, one thing I do want to talk about is that Zenshu apparently is not very well liked on my anime list. Now, to be fair, this is my anime list, but my anime list doesn't seem to really be enjoying this show at all. I mean, look at the rating alone, just says it. I mean, go figure. I mean, this is the same site that allowed Full Metal Alchemist to remain supreme on the site for basically a decade plus. And don't get me wrong, Full Metal Alchemist, amazing series. But it's very clear there's a lot of bias. And I feel like maybe the reason why there's so much negativity around Zenshu could be because of the overall impressions. They thought it was going to be another Shirobako, but it wasn't. I can see where that might be the negativity that it might be getting. But besides that, it's a good first episode. I highly recommend it if you want to check it out and see something a little bit different. If you're looking for an Isekai or something, you should see how you like it. I mean, like I said, there's 2 episodes out. Episode 3, I think, is coming out in like a day or 2. So you'll be able to get even more content. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.